As always, we start the show off with some news worth knowing. All right. First on News Worth Knowing, festive season shopping is here, and South African entrepreneurs are developing all kinds of products to sell to people looking for the perfect Christmas gift for their lovers or their hateful bosses they have to be nice to get a raise. One such inventor has gone viral online in South Africa for his cutting-edge invisibility cloak that can apparently protect you from amapara on your way to work. Are you laughing because it's amapara or because it's me saying amapara? And apparently, this new invisibility cloak is going for the bargain rate of just 1,500 Rand. Let's have a look at the product being used.
This is a slow event.
Yeah.
I mean, that's very impressive, guys. It's giving Kasi Harry Potter. Now, not all the people who have seen the product are convinced. Some are saying it's just a green screen. But one tweeter called Googs III reported that she had bought the product, but now she couldn't find it. And another customer reported that they'd ordered the product for delivery in the post, but when the box arrived, there was nothing inside, to which Googs III said, "No, it's there. It's there." Now we are hearing that Kasi Harry Potter has big plans, including a whole range of magical items coming soon for December. These allegedly include Harry Potter and the Sangoma's Stone, a game about Parliament called Harry Potter and the Chamber of Halfwits, another game named Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Polesmore, keeping it close to home. Then there's Harry Potter and the Goblet of Brandy and Coke, Harry Potter and the Bunny Chow from Phoenix, and an anti-scammer device called Harry Potter and the Nigerian Prince, apparently. And finally, a painkiller for when your body is sore after partying too hard called Harry Potter and the Deathly Wololos. Oh, again. Okay, we get it. Did you play Harry Potter and Wololo at the same time? That has genuinely never been done before. Can we have a round of applause for that musical master? That's amazing. Amazing. All of this coming soon to a fake online store near you. Next on News Worth Knowing, a 1.5 million Rand house in Mahikeng Northwest has been sold for, and this is true, 1,000 Rand. 1,000 Rand for that house. You thought your Black Friday deal was good, but how about 99.994% off? 1,000. Someone bought that house for the price of 113 dunked wings from KFC and still had 7 Rand to add for hope, guys. So now I'm sure you're wondering, how can I buy a house for 1,000 Rand? Here's how you do it. Follow the steps and listen properly. Step 1, get married in community of property. Step 2, buy a house. Step 3, get divorced. Step 4, have the house evaluated for 1.5 million Rand. Step 5, tell your ex they can buy your half of the house for 700,000 Rand. Are you guys good so far? Yeah. When your ex doesn't respond, it's time for step 6. You put the house up for auction, but make sure nobody comes to the auction. Now, you have to advertise the auction, so the way you make sure nobody comes is you place an advert in a local newspaper and put the venue in the very fine print where no one can see it. Auctions usually happen at the property being auctioned, so you need to hold the auction at the sheriff's office, but put the information in the very fine print so everyone goes to the house instead. Step 7, make your lawyer bid in the auction on your behalf and make sure the only other bidder there, for some reason, gives up on bidding on a 1.5 million Rand house at just 1,000 Rand. And step 8, purchase the house for 1,000 Rand, and that's how you get a house for the price of 113 dunked wings and 7 Rand for hope. Isn't that good? That's good. That's very impressive. What I described is exactly what the ex-wife did, guys. Step for step. The ex-husband launched a court application to have the sale set aside and to stop the ex-wife from taking control of the house. The ex-wife opposed the application. She said the auction was legit because it had been advertised in a local newspaper. And the advert did say the auction would be at the sheriff's house, even though the venue was in the fine print. The Mahikeng High Court just ruled with the ex-husband. They found that it was unfair that the ex-wife triggered the auction process and instructed her own attorney to bid for her. The court also found that 1,000 Rand for a property could not be considered fair just or equitable price because the ex-wife herself had already indicated in her offer to the ex-husband that she would have taken 700K for half the property. She showed us that she thought that would be a reasonable split. So now, presumably, they're going to do it all again. So keep your eyes out for the Mahikeng mail, where that property will actually go on auction. Next on News Worth Knowing, we're in Gauteng, and I'm going to tell you a few things that are going on. Firstly, across the province, service delivery is collapsing, guys. Live studio audience, let's play a quick game of Bad Basic Services Bingo, okay? When I shout out a basic service that is going badly, if you have it in your province, I need you to shout bingo. Is that good? And you need 6 bingos to win. So you at home, do it for your province. Our live studio audience is representing Gauteng, okay? You ready for Bad Public Services Bingo? All right. Water crisis. Bingo. Electricity crisis. Bingo. Crime crisis. Bingo. Pothole pandemic. Bingo. Waste not removed. Bingo. Sewage system setbacks. Bingo. 6 from 6, Gauteng, you're a winner, baby! You must feel very proud. So we have a service delivery crisis in Gauteng. That's the first thing going on in Gauteng. At the same time, last week, the Gauteng local government said that they were sending back 2.2 billion rand of their budget to National Treasury because they didn't spend it on, I don't know, service delivery for us. It's actually worse. They didn't spend 3.4 billion rand of their budget. It's just they managed to get 1.2 billion rolled over to the next year. The local government in Gauteng, whose literal job it is to deliver us services, looked around at everything going on and found nothing to spend their budget on. And here we have a picture of the Gauteng government hard at work. Oh, and another thing, the Gauteng Finance MEC Lebogang Maile last week announced a plan to build a new 200 billion rand airport in Sedibeng in the Vaal. The people of Sedibeng suffer power outages, unreliable water, terrible roads, broken traffic lights, sewage in some streets in some places. So you know what they really need right now? An airport. And I have to ask the Gauteng government, with all due respect, is it crack? Like, genuinely, is it crack? Like, I can imagine someone on crack saying that Sedibeng really needs an airport and literally no one else. Gauteng government, when you're watching this, if you need help, please call SADAG now on 0800 12 13 14 because they can help you make better decisions. The vast majority of South Africans have never been on a plane, guys. But don't worry, Sedibeng, you're getting an airport that you can look at when you can't watch TV because the electricity is out. Everything is fine. Okay, finally on News Worth Knowing tonight, Donald Trump. The evil knick-knack went online this weekend. I'm really so proud of that graphic. The evil knick-knack went online this weekend and posted, quote, "The idea that the BRICS countries are trying to move away from the dollar while we stand by and watch is over. We require a commitment from these countries that they will neither create a new BRICS currency nor back any other currency to replace the mighty US dollar, or they will face 100% tariffs and should expect to say goodbye to selling to the wonderful US economy." Now, the demented Nachi's statement has caused some panic in South Africa. We really should have made a graphic for that one. We are a BRICS member, and America is currently our biggest trading partner. But the two main responses to Trump's announcement have been a bit strange. I think they've missed the mark. Some South Africans in the last 24 hours are saying, "Screw America, they can jump, we are going with BRICS." And others are saying, "Screw BRICS, we must leave BRICS immediately to save our relationship with the USA." So let's quickly talk about how tariffs actually work and why dropping America for BRICS or BRICS for America are not the only choices we have here, and there's a way better option. Okay, firstly, what is a tariff? A tariff is a tax imposed by a government on importing goods into the country. A 100% tariff means the tax on a product is the price of the product. So if the item you're importing costs 100 rand, the extra charge to import it will be 100 rand, meaning you'd have to pay 200 rand total to import the item. 100 rand to the producer and 100 rand tariff tax to your own government. Crucially, though, tariffs fall on the importer to pay, not the seller. The American company importing South African goods would have to pay the tariff, not the South African seller. And now that it is much more expensive for the American to import the South African product, they need to sell the product at a higher price, which means that the people who are going to pay for the item, pay more for the item, are the American citizens in the supermarkets. Does that make sense? Tariffs on imports often lead to cost of living increasing for the people in that country. So who would really foot the bill for American tariffs on BRICS countries? The answer is probably the American people. Trump believes that making it more expensive for American importers to bring products in from other countries and make it harder for the importers to sell what they bring in would stop importers from importing, which would mean that local industries in America would step in and get business now that their foreign rivals aren't around. Trump thinks that will protect American jobs and make new ones for Americans, but that's just not what happens in the vast majority of cases with tariffs. The last time this human carrot was president, he placed tariffs on imported steel, and the number of jobs in steel in the US barely changed at all. The problem with Trump's reasoning is that American industries just can't step in. Just like that. Americans can't make South African wine. Their attempt at biltong is terrible. And even when Americans do produce the same products as other countries, they often can't make that product as cheaply as in other countries. That's why the products are imported in the first place. America can't just suddenly launch and optimize local industries overnight. So what will probably happen, as it's happened in the past, is importers will likely continue to import, even with higher tariffs. True, they may not import as many goods as before, but they will still import from us and the other BRICS nations. If they don't, Americans just won't get affordable, high-quality goods, and that will be terrible for Trump's popularity. If he just made imported goods from all these BRICS countries unaffordable, not just South Africa, China, Russia, India, Brazil, and more, that could become a political disaster for him. The last time he put in tariffs, he just targeted a few industries, like steel. And that worked well for him politically because most Americans couldn't feel, right? They couldn't perceive the effect of the tariffs. But if he just placed comprehensive tariffs on all goods from all of these countries, that would drive up the cost of living for Americans. They would feel that and associate that with Trump. So it's kind of just unlikely that he will go through with this threat. Does that make sense? But even if he does, South Africa should absolutely not either drop America or drop BRICS. America is our biggest trading partner, but all the other BRICS nations together provide bigger markets and more trade for us than just the United States on its own. Going all in on America makes us vulnerable to if America suffers economic downturn or political instability or just presidential pettiness. Remember, the human knickknack, as we have covered on this show before, may be very mean to us because Trump may punish us because of our ongoing cases against Israel at the International Court of Justice. Even if we went all in on America, they may schnei us anyway. I don't know if I can say that word on television, but we're going to find out. The best strategy is to engage with as many countries as possible, so troubles in one or two countries won't leave us high and dry. We literally don't need to make a choice between America and BRICS. In my opinion, we should just keep trading with everyone and see if Trump does something silly. And even if he does go through with this enormous tariffs threat, Americans will still import some South African goods, probably not as many as before, but overall we will have way more trade opportunities as a country by trading with everyone.